Hello and welcome to our channel. My name's Jade and this is Keeping Up with the Kennys. On our channel we talk about personal finance, personal development, frugal living, and our debt-free life. If any of those things sound interesting to you, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button down below, as well as the notification bell so that you get notified anytime that we post new videos. Today we're just going to do a little touch base, a little recap of August. What August brought as far as spending and as far as savings goes. So August is a high birth month for us. There were a lot of births that happened in August in our families between Matt and I. That October, November, there just a lot goes on in December because Christmas, and then also Matt's little sister's birthday is then too. So like it's a lot of months of the year, but we make do. But the thing is that we know every August that we have quite a few birthdays going on. And this year we also had a vacation that we had in that month. So, you know, we budgeted for that for quite a bit of time beforehand. In probably about May is when Matt's parents asked us if we would like to go on vacation. So we went to Florida in May. They were planning to go in August and they invited us to come with them in August. And that also included that they were paying for our accommodations because they got a 2-bedroom condo, and Matt and I just stayed on the pull-out couch in the condo with them. So it made it a super affordable trip for us, but it was something that we knew was coming up, and we have a vacation fund pretty much going at all times because it normally has anywhere from $1,300 to $3,000 in it, and that just pays for trips throughout the year that we take. So we knew that that money in that account was going to be being used for that. So I tried to, you know, from May to August kind of beef up that account a little bit because we had obviously used it in May. We wanted to, you know, obviously be able to use it for that vacation too. So from May to August, we ended up having roughly about $1,200 in that account to be able to spend on that vacation. And we came in right under $1,000 for the entire trip. Originally, we spent $580 on a rental car. But right now we can rent a sedan or even a compact car, and then we're able to, you know, spend a lot less money on gas. So it kind of becomes a wash, but then we aren't putting the wear and tear and miles on our own cars. So it ends up being a little bit better of a deal for us when it comes down to it. However, in this case, you know, it was a lot of money. But then Matt's so smart, he looks at our reservation a week before we're about to leave. And he goes, if we would have waited to book, it would have been $325 or $340 or whatever. And I was like, what? It was so angry, right? Would you be angry if you spent $580 and then if you would have just waited till last minute, you could have got your car for like $250 less? So I was like, great, awesome. Like, I'm so glad that we were prepared. It makes me feel really good. Ooh. Well, then we play around on the app and there is an edit your reservation button. And you can edit it to a different car and then back to the same car and then get the cheaper price. But holy smokes, $250, like so easily saved, right? And that was already budgeted for the trip. So it was awesome because that was an activity and our hotel on the way down there paid for without actually being out any more money than we had already budgeted. So the whole trip ended up costing us right under $1,000. That was the first part of our August. The other big spending comes from, you know, the birthdays that are in August. So Matt's mom's birthday was in August. We have kind of set a rule over the past couple of years because Matt, I love him. I love him so much. You guys know this. Like, I do. I love him. He's the greatest human. He's so giving, so caring, so wonderful. But that also means that he is so giving. And, you know, if I don't watch him, he will spend hundreds of dollars on everybody for their birthdays because he wants anything that they've ever wanted that they don't have and they wouldn't ever buy for themselves. Like, he wants to give that to them, which is great. However, no. So we have kind of, over the years that we have kind of set up that we spend really no more than $25 on people for their birthdays. You know, we end up with about $1,000 a year in gift expenses that we have, and that includes Christmas. That being said, obviously Matt's mom had a birthday. My brothers both had birthdays. My older brother, we just had dinner with my parents for. My little brother doesn't live near us. I won't see him until October for his baby's birthday, so I'm just gonna get him something around that time. And then Matt's birthday, Matt bought all his own presents this year. He went a little bit cuckoo bananas over some stuff. He got a little bit excited and he like blew the wad, which was fine. Like, it had been all stuff that he's been wanting for a really long time. And over, you know, because of COVID, like, they had like 5 and 7 times in price, and they had finally come back down to pretty much what they were pre-COVID. And he, you know, asked, he was like, do you care if I get some of this stuff? And I said no, because he has been wanting it. It had been out of the question for a long time, and it made him feel better to have this stuff. So we ended up doing that. We ended up buying, he ended up getting some ammo crates from Harbor Freight because they were on clearance or sale, whatever. And so he was able to get himself some of those for his birthday too. So it was just a lot of stuff that he had been wanting, and, you know, we just had been saying no to for a while, and it just ended up being a big chunk of change right all at the same time. But that being said, I also, you know, I had all these plans for his birthday, right? And then he went and bought all this stuff. And so a couple days before, I told him, I was like, so that's your birthday present, right? Because, like, if not, can you return all of it? Because you kind of spent more than I had budgeted on you for your birthday. So if you are expecting also gifts, no. And, you know, obviously he was like, no, those are my gifts. Cool. So I go buy him a 50-cent card from the dollar store because I refuse to ever spend more than 50 cents on a card. Ever. Actually, that's not true. Sometimes I forget, and then there is no Dollar Tree near where I am, and then I'm forced to go to the dollar section of Walmart's cards. But you better believe you will never see a card from me that on the back says $8.99, $6.99, $5.99. No. Like, I would rather give you $5 to $10 more of a gift than like spend part of your gift budget on a card. That's silly to me. Like, even bags, I buy bags at the dollar store because, like, I refuse. Like, that's part of a gift budget, right? Like, the card, the bag, the tissue paper, like, that all goes into it, which is why I reuse bags a lot of the time, because then I'm not having to worry about spending money on those things. And, you know, that's what Matt got from me, though, was a 50-cent card with a cute little note written in it, you know, of like how great he is and how much I love him because he's just the best, because he's the baby, and he's a good guy, and he deserved a little card with a little appreciation note. But he also didn't deserve any more gifts because he had already bought himself all of the gifts. You feel me? So those were kind of the big things that went on as far as spending goes in August. But when I get to this page in my little notebook here, because I keep track of how much we have in savings every month, which is really fun to like look back at a year ago and kind of see what, like, let's look. What did we have last? So last September, we had $44,730. However, last October, I bought a Toyota Highlander that was $26,000 and I spent $1,800 in sales tax on. So that ended October of last year with $22,000. So we are now at the $60,000 mark from the $22,000 mark. So I'm really proud of us, you know, like it's fun to, like that's part of why I keep this book and why I write down every month what we start with and what we end with, because it's just kind of fun to look back on, you know, like how far, especially Matt, has come. And so, you know, in a year, a lot can change. In 2 years, a lot can change, obviously, because, you know, like September of 2019, we had quite a bit of debt still. And now we have $60,000 in the bank. So, you know, it's just, it's fun. I think that everyone should have something like this where, you know, you can kind of look back, and it's a lot more fun to see the progress you've made when you've been keeping track of it the whole time. Lastly, just wanted to talk about our down payment fund. So in August, we started with $34,831, ended with $38,331. So that's obviously where most of the money that we put into savings goes to right now. And then over the course of time, especially once we're done with down payment, like I can't wait till that, because then we have, you know, probably $2,000 going into, you know, savings. And then and by savings, I mean like retirement savings. And then we have probably $2,000 a month of saved money that's like going to go towards vacations and cars and all that jazz, because then the rest of it we'll live off of. Because right now, and how I always have done it, is we save an entire income and live off of one income. So my income will be the saved income because it's always been the saved income. So we will live off of Matt's income. And that just kind of helps us to, you know, make sure that we're saving a substantial amount of our money, but also so that we know that our spending isn't getting out of control, because obviously it's really easy to do as you get raises. And it's really easy because a whole paycheck of mine just gets put into savings. As soon as it hits the bank account, it's gone. It goes directly into savings and it's never seen by us. And that's the easiest way for us to do it, because then we are truly living off of one person's income, and it's always worked out for us. So, you know, I'm excited. I'm excited for the next couple of months. You know, if we find a house soon, cool. If we don't, then we'll just keep chugging along and we'll be able to buy a bigger house maybe, or put a way bigger down payment on a smaller house. Either way works and will be good in the long run. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.